they were somewhat uniform. But I know that each of us attorneys had our own set of documents on our own computer that were kind of our own little templates, and like the receptionist had her own, and the paralegals had their own, and so they weren't in like this joint database where everyone was using them. We had kind of like the general documents that kind of everyone sort of had modified to make their own. So when you go into a firm like that, where like they don't have any like systems or processes, it's nothing's all integrated. Do you have any advice for people on how to, when they're starting to build out these processes, like how do you take all these individual templates and all that and try to blend them all into one unified system?
Yeah. I think ultimately here the problem is not necessarily a technical problem per se. It's more of just an operations problem, right? And a human problem. And making sure that again all of that knowledge is centralized. And ultimately I would say the solution here is quite simple. It's just like make sure that whoever is doing a particular job, they sit together, right, in a room on a Zoom call, right, and walk through exactly how to do a particular function, right? After we agree on that, again, we can use maybe some diagramming tools, whiteboard helps. Then take those documents, right? Take that process that we've just outlined and put it in a simple SOP, right? Inside of Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever you're using, right? Or your server. Ultimately, I think in terms of knowledge management as well, it's kind of a big thing. There are a lot of programs out there that try to do, say like, okay, we're the best knowledge management system. We also now working on that internally. We've tried a few of those and we just said, okay, we're going to use Google Drive. We're going to have Google Docs with those processes that has version control. We can share it with everybody. Nobody needs extra accounts. And actually, Gemini connects directly to Google Drive. So you can just say, add Drive. What is the process for setting up a new client account? And it will search all of your Drive and pull up that answer. And those answers were better than the custom platforms that we were paid, $20 per user for. So I would say simplicity and like first of all, making sure that everybody's on the same page in terms of just conceptually, right? On an operational level, and then not overcomplicating and not over engineering it and just putting it on paper and making sure that at least say the human process is well defined.
I think what you just said I hope people don't overlook what you just said, because that is such a really simple, cheap hack. And I think it might be, it might be better than what everyone's been trying to find for years. Where like they want to have this like unified system where like you can find all the documents, all the SOPs and everything. But I remember when I started, all of our SOPs were on a Google Doc. There's like one Google Doc, and if we had continued to build out in Google Drive, I mean, we could be doing what you're talking about now, where like you just go to Gemini, ask questions of it, and we'd probably be better off at this point. So I think that's a really, really good hack.
The look, I over my career have been this for over like 5 6 years now already in developing the solutions for law firms. We've built very complex systems on Zoho, like the most of like 50 different steps in between the 100 different flows. And what I realized that ultimately those systems are amazing, but you need to know when is the right time for those systems. Like controversial opinion, until your firm is 20 25 people, honestly, technology is not your biggest bottleneck. Your biggest bottleneck is getting people on the seats, making sure they can actually deliver the work, and you have good customer service, you have some standardized SOPs, but really technology is not the biggest bottleneck, because if you have three people on the team, if you increase, let's say, process efficiency by 20 30%, well, that's still not even like one full-time equivalent, essentially, right? If you hit a team of 100 and you increase efficiency 20%, that's like adding 20 more people to your team, right? So those let's say benefits really start increasing as a firm grows. Until you reach that point, your problem are human problems, not technology problems.